Welcome to another file handling tutorial using the C programming language. In the previous tutorials, we have learned what are files, how we can open the files, how we can write data to the file, and how we can read data from the file. Now here in this video, I will specifically talk about the difference between opening the file in text mode and in binary mode. Now when we talk about saving information in computer memory, no matter what type of information you are talking about, everything will be stored in the form of zeros and ones. If we have a text file, that will be stored in the computer memory in the form of zeros and ones. Similarly, if you have a music file, it will be stored in the form of zeros and ones or in binary form. A normal text file will have the contents in text form. For example, here I have this output.txt which contains some text. Now when it comes to text files, different operating systems work with them differently. For example, the Unix based operating systems like Linux and Mac, when it comes to the newline character, they represent that by using line feed. A single byte is used in order to represent that newline character. But in Windows operating system, in order to represent the newline, 2 bytes are used. It uses something called as carriage return and line feed. So in Unix based operating system, it will be 1 byte to represent the new line, but in Windows, it will be 2 bytes in order to represent the new line with the text files. For example, here I have the string learning lad rocks and then subscribe for more tutorials. Here this /n is used in C programming language in order to represent a new line. So when I run this program in Unix based operating systems, like in Linux or Mac, what happens is for this new line character, line feed character will be saved in the computer memory. It will be 1 byte. But if I run the same program in Windows, the C runtime will perform the conversion. So for this new line character, it will insert the carriage return and then it will write the carriage return and the line feed. So it will be something like /r and /n for new line in Windows operating system. So this is done by the C runtime depending on the operating system where it is working. So now what is the problem with this? So in Windows, when we write data to the file, the C runtime will perform the conversion. It will write carriage return and line feed to the memory. When we read from the file in Windows, the C runtime will remove the carriage return that is read from the memory and it will return the new line character. So the C runtime will automatically perform this in Windows environment. So what is the problem with this? Now let us say I have a file which contains some information which is written by a C program running in the Linux operating system. Now if I bring that file to the Windows and if I use a C program to read from that file, then the program may not work properly. Why? Because that file does not contain the carriage return character written in it. But the C runtime in Windows expects that character. So here, this happens with the text files in Windows environment. In Unix based operating system, that conversion doesn't happen. In Windows, if you don't want that conversion to happen, then you can specify that by opening the file in binary mode. You can use the B key with the file opening mode. Whether you are reading, writing, appending, whatever you are doing, if you don't want this conversion to happen, then you use this character B, which will indicate that we are opening the file in binary mode. So in Unix based operating system, opening the file in the binary mode or opening the file in normal mode doesn't really have any difference. But in Windows, it has the difference. If you don't open the file in binary mode by using the B, then the conversion that we have talked about, it can happen. But if you open the file with the B, that is the binary mode, then the conversion will not happen. Now here, the important thing is if we open the file in text mode or binary mode, it doesn't mean that we can write only certain type of data to that file. Whatever the content that we are going to write to the file or read from the file, that will depend on the functions that we are using in order to work with the file. So if I open up the file in binary mode by using this B here in the file opening mode, then I can write the text content to that file, no problem. The binary mode here will only indicate that do not perform the automatic conversion that generally the C runtime does in Windows environment. So that is the only difference. So we can open up the file in binary mode, we can write text data to it, or we can write the raw bytes to that file. or we can read, text data from the file, or we can read raw bytes from the file. Depending on the functions that we are using, we can work with the file. But whether that conversion should happen or not, that will depend on whether we are opening the file in text mode or binary mode. Now, in order to explain this, or in order to show this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this B from this file opening mode. So what it means is I'm opening the file in write mode, normal text mode. And if I run this program now, what happens is output.txt, a file will be created in the same folder, and it will contain this text. So I will run this program. So the program is complete. Now I will open up the folder where I have saved this program. So here we can see the source file, the executable file, and the output.txt, which is created. If I open it up, then you guys can see the content here, learning ladder rocks, then subscribe for more tutorials in a separate line. So I will close this. Now I want you guys to look at this size here. It is 43 bytes at the moment. So now I will come back to the program. Now here, what we are doing is we are writing the text to the file using the fprintf function in text mode. So what happens is the automatic conversion is happening, and for this new line character, the carriage return and the line feed, both bytes are inserted or saved in the computer memory. But if I change this one to B here and save this program, and if I run this, now the program has completed execution. Now if I open up the folder, and if I click outside on any of the file, and then if I click on this output.txt, that is just to refresh this information. Now you guys can see it contains 42 bytes. Why? One extra byte was actually used for writing or storing the carriage return, that is /r. But right now, since I'm opening the file in binary mode, it is not adding that carriage return. So the difference between that carriage return is that if you use only line feed, it's like right now we are here, then go to the beginning of the next line. But when we use the carriage return and the line feed, the way it works is right now we are in the end of this line. First, go to the beginning of the current line, and then go to the beginning of the next line. So that's how it works. So this is it guys for this particular video. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button. If you have anything to say, write that in the comment box. For more tutorials, subscribe to the channel.